TMO Online Television, its associates and affiliates may not be liable for views expressed on this show. Viewer discretion advised.
Even in Scandinavian countries and others, they actually try to protect their exportable product and the other product. If this is exportable, why do we lose that value addition? If the fish can get value addition by getting to the international market, what it does is it gives, you see, fish is one commodity which brings revenue every day. Please take a note on the number of boats or batatus or similar such illegal gears that are being impounded by the FPU.
And I saw stupid fellows. In Uganda, you were lucky. Two fools masquerading as exporters. But Ugandans should be denied Empuuta. You are stupid, you are idiots. Or better blow to Empuuta here. I think from Rocket and Mr. Name one of them. Oh, Ziyamba Empuuta Bajiri. Come on, Bus. Gonna investing them in you. Philippines. You did the Philippines idiots and needed home. They needed them. Never cheat them. Twice in the newspaper. Locals should not natives. You are stupid, you are idiots. In other countries you do precipitate a riot. But you are more needed in your countries than here. Where did he ask you about it? Where did he get Empuuta? But because Lake Victoria is the fresh water, the Busobola. Mudamba bakubembifane bana Uganda baba.
Amze chewonyi.
These are idiots.
Empuuta tebajiria wali.
Baba nanye ne yatera meji. Koma kujitunda. Gendo kole Ennyo. Why is it that Philippines does not manufacture planes? You had the longest American presence in your country. The Filipino gets you this to tell us we should not access Empuuta. You are stupid. Why do you invest in Empuuta? Invest in industries.
I see.
Invest in planes. Most of these people are here masquerading as investors are crooks.
Serious?
Crooks.
But who vets them?
And you see,
who is in charge of vetting potential investors?
Abaganda bagamba nti enkuba ekuba omunaku tekisigala mu nviiri.
Mazima.
That a problem that affects a poor man is not solvable. It remains somewhere. They don't want competition. Why don't you grow? Why don't you go to your countries and produce Empuuta? Your favorite thing that is sold outside is not eaten or used by the natives. Would you be coming with your clothes?
No.
What type of stupidity is this? Arrogance, stupid.
Mbalamusizza nnyo mwena gye musinzira okubanga mulaba TM Online Television yenze Kanka Kapita Naggusedda ne mutabani wa Mmole n'amatovu Mirundi Joseph Tamale Mirundi Senior okubatuusaako ekitundu kyaffe kino ekirala ekya Political Dose. Omwaka nga gugwako nkusaba weewandiise ne kampuni ya Stone Roofing and Construction Company, kampuni y'abazimbi abasikawutu ab'amazima basobole okuba nga bakutuusaako enkulaakulana ku polotiyo ey'okuzimbira. Kampuni ya Stone Roofing and Construction Company ey'abazimbi abeesimbwa abajja okukyusa ensi okugibeeramu ng'esinga bwe bagisanga. Kakati bo bano abazimbi abasikawutu bakuzimbira ennyumba ey'ekika eky'omutindo gwennyini gw'oyagala, bakubira pulaani nga tonaba nako okuzimbawo, basooka ate kusaakinga ttaka lyo okulaba oba ettaka ly'ogenda okuba ng'oteekako enkulaakulana. Ettaka eryo ttuufu teriikuviiremu leenya ng'omaze ate okulikulaakulanya. Bwe bamaliriza ekyo osobola okunyumya nabo n'oyogera nabo ne basobola okukendeereza ku miwendo gya buli kimu nga mwotwalidde okuzimba. Nkukakasa nti abasikawutu bano bo tebasigaliza maanyi, basobola okuba nga bakutuusaako ebyobuzimbi ebyenjawulo, naddala mu abeetaaga okuggala enzigi, abeetaaga okubibwa pulaani, ebyo byonna bitandika na kuggulawo fayiro nabo. Ojja bbaawo emitwalo 15 gyokka oggulawo fayiro. Fayiro eno ng'ejja kuyamba bo kukolera ku mirimu egyo gyonna, omulimu okutambula okugenda ku ttaka lyo diraba n'okukubayo pulaani n'okuweereza pulaani z'ekizimbe kye waali agadde nga tozzeemu kuteekayo kasente, woddamu okuteerayo ssente muba mukaanyiza ku bintu bya kuzimba nga bamaze n'okuwa embalirira entuufu. Ye kampuni y'abasikawutu abazimbi eyitibwa Stone Roofing and Construction Company weewandiise ng'omwaka gugenda okuggwako. Mbategeeza ng'era mbabuulira omusawo omukugu w'amaaso ayitibwa Maama Mukisa wa Mukisa Herbal Research Clinic ow'Ekisaasi Kulambiro. Omusawo ono ajjanjabisa enzijanjaba eyaffe eyawano eya herbal medicine teri kika ky'amaaso kirwadde kyatawonya. Kubirako Maama Mukisa ku nsonga ez'enjawulo okusingira ddala amaaso ne bw'obeera omanyi omuntu alina yenna omuntu eyalwala oba alina omwana eyazimba omutwe ow'ekirwadde kya hydrocephalus. Nkukakasa ne mwenna ng'owulira onyigiriziddwa nga waliwo omusango ogukunyigiriza, yogerako ne Maama Mukisa mujja kuba mukisootinga. Maama Mukisa asangibwa Kisaasi Kulambiro naye ng'abantu b'ebweru eyo naddala abawangalira mu nsi y'e Dubai, Maama Mukisa ajja okuba nga bajjanjaba endwadde y'amaaso yokka. Mukubireko ku nnamba z'amasimu ezo z'olaba ojja kuba nga weewandiisa n'emitwalo 3. Emitwalo 3 gikuyamba Maama Mukisa okuteekerateekera eddagala n'akubuulira ddi lwagenda okujja mu Dubai okubajjanjaba endwadde z'amaaso. Kaakati teweekomomma, yogerako ne Maama Mukisa akujjanjaba amaaso oba ajjanjaba oyo yenna gw'omanyi oba boosi oba omuntu yenna gw'okolera, era nga ku luno yeesitudde ajjira ddala e Dubai ng'ava Kisaasi Kulambiro eno mu Kasaana okujja okubajjanjaba. Kambeere nga nkomaawo tugende mu political dose y'olwaleero.
Waliwo Besigye alwanira abagoba ab'ebibanja. Besigye wali omuliddeko
mu nsonga za ttaka.
Besigye wali omuliddeko nga agamba nti ayigigi bamwongere ssente endala. Besigye wali omuliddeko. Besigye is funded, is nurtured, is watered by the mafias in Uganda.
I see.
Era kasomulaba kati there is a possibility of anti Lwabwogo mugezi. What Lwabwogo wants is to azanya kwa chifiiriza. Let me create a situation where if the two of us stand, Museveni is forced to drop his son.
I see.
Kati Lwabwogo azanya kwa chifiiriza. Tayagala abantu. If Lwabwogo, the people Lwabwogo hates most is me and Muhozi.
I see.
Era yakuga nti Mirundi ndibamukozesa. If for you why did yataka me? Even if I have people who are funding me, yes, bakube oli onumbira ki? Were they funding me when you had not removed me from the state house? Na leta mukwano gwe. Immediately I left na ateka musenge. Mukwano gwe yamujjamu. Nakuva kwa Bushenga. Nabushenga namudireke. Nambwe namusaya budire. If you return the job to Nabusai, what have I gained? If you Nabusai now, mfunye chumulenzi gwe. Kanange nkube nango nsanze mukona katukubaga nikakube nkufirize buli kamu ejoga eryo ndikujjemu nzito munzite mulabe lumulitegera nti baba etegekera dda
kyogamba muzeyi Lwabwogo ayinza okuba n'omukono mu front.
Yes,
mu kisinde kya Besigye.
Yes, to create, you see.
Yafunira wanga Besigye achankala.
Anti ba Besigye bwe bajja one. You must be relevant to Museveni. When do people become relevant to Museveni? When he faces domestic pressure. Kakati Besigye bamuleeta nti ono president amutadeko tough measures. Kakati ayagala okuleeta Besigye afune breathing space. 2, if the Besigyes are coming, kakati kitegeeza nti the family must sit of the 2. Yakugamba ayina sente, ayina patriotic group. But when he authored the book, it is still there. But bagano chugula. Ekikuta an indication nti mulenzi gw'abantu tebakwagala. The best candidate Museveni has in his family. Even Soto can defeat Lwabwogo.
Are you serious?
Yeah, but Soto, Lwabwogo, no. Lwabwogo is the most hated member of the first family. I think at Yaga Mutari, Yaga, I'm not a member of the family, it's only my children. I didn't go. To when the mafia targets people in the government for the economic interest, Besigye is never heard condemning it. Even when the mafia plots to undermine beef exported from Uganda, he keeps mum. Besigye doesn't defend other opposition leaders like Bobby Wine. Supports unity as long as he's the leader of opposition.
Yes.
Wow, we knew.
Yagambye n'enjombo aba Bobby Wine
Besigye ayogera ku b'ebikajja ebisoga. Besigye yali ayogeddeko ku bafubi bila amatoka bwe batwala ennuuni. And I saw stupid fellows. In Uganda, you were lucky. 2 fools masquerading as exporters. But Ugandans should be denied Empuuta. You are stupid, you are idiots. Or better blow to Empuuta here. I think from Rakita Mujimau. Said the Bubby. Name one wow nam. Oh, Mufatajakalako Mpota Vigilia. Come ambush. Gano investing them in you. Verify in this. You these Philippines idiots are needed home than we need them here. Never cheat them. Twice in newspaper. Locals should not natives. You are stupid, you are idiots. In other countries you do precipitate a riot. But you are more needed in your countries than here. Where did you ask your body? Where did he get Empuuta? But because Lake Victorians, the fresh water, Mutamba bakube mbifane ba na Uganda baba.
Amze chewunyi.
Omuntu agamba
bwe Empuuta tebagiriya wali.
Baba nanye ne yatera meji. Koma kujitunda. Gendo okole Ennyonyi. Why is it that Philippines does not manufacture planes? You had the longest American presence in your country. A Filipino gets you this to tell us we should not access Empuuta. You are stupid. Why do you invest in Empuuta? Invest in industries.
I see.
Invest in planes. Ne bujja mu kachiko bwate bwetaka benga bufulu. They're stupid. And at the same time, an MT manager comes up to finish Ugandans.
I see.
Are we still having a state? Or we are busy talking about the scavengers are here? Did we just, did we, the problem we did not fight for independence. Mzungu masquerades himself. You bring in, you make a supplement in the monitor about MTN. All the people who have managed the MTN in Uganda are foreigners. What type of public relations do you have, you Mzungu? I doubt your academic background. I doubt his academic background.
The guy is good.
He must be this man must have something to do with the upper side. He thinks that Ugandan is mesmerized by seeing a Mzungu face. You make a supplement. You don't even show the Ugandans who are running MTN.
You show only the whites.
The reason they have been blacklisted by the Americans, the Ugandan scavengers. Katia Duka, Mr. MTN manager. In fact, whenever we say Mzungu face, Ugandans don't admire Abazungu.
Yes.
Because we have never seen a Mzungu peacekeeper here. All of the time we had political turmoil, we could see Abazungu closing the embassies and running. And for your information, to come from South Africa, the former apartheid perpetrators is only those people, the scavengers. You dine with the scavengers, and you think that every Ugandan
what wrong did this Mzungu of MTN do?
Let him tell us, because they are stupid. When they say that the National Security Fund should release some money, when the National Security Fund is supposed to invest, a Mzungu comes up and says, we are floating shares. To do what? Let the Mzungu have read their supplement. There is no specific project whether they are going to invest this money. It could be because they have studied that the Minister of Finance, is managed by let me reserve that comment. I would make an abusive statement. Because the economic department in security, the Minister of Finance, the Planning Authority would ask, why should this man go on the street to sell shares and very aggressive? Where does he want to put this money? Which project?
Yes.
We would know.
Yes.
The feasibility study would know. He would tell us.
Doesn't he explain how he's going to invest in this money?
He's white ngalabi, the white pumpkin. When he brings up his ngalabi, he's white pumpkin, ngalabi, and suju, a pumpkin. That Ugandans will be. Ugandans don't trust Bazungu. Have we forgotten onomusaja wa mini? Yeba mwitangani.
Sicha mjukiri.
Asos. Yes, Ugandans have been seeing Bazungu who are idiots. So you cannot. Those who admire you are different. And for me, Mulaki, instead of explaining it to me, as put a supplement, I feel happy. The Mirundi is son. Tasola konko viro simu muanukula. Tasola kutuma mtu wangu mkubai smash easy representative with a hammer. This is what has made me popular among Ugandans. Kati maliza ne nkugamba. With the prevailing nkugamba. Sadly, nkugamba. Sadly, their military is still respected in Uganda. It is a bad idea for Museveni to think of a retired general. he can separate. It is not a bad idea for Museveni to think of a retired general. He can separate the two. That's why in the arts of Abayimbia, obalaba nnyo nga bazanyira mu uniform ya police, obalaba nnyo nga bazanyira mu police mu uniform ya prison. They mainly don military uniform. Why? Even the cadres, when they go to call Chankwas and ministers, they want to be pictured in green. Ugandans admire the military. Therefore, future leaders will either be retired generals or generals.
I see.
But the constitution says you retire from the army. So I'm thinking about a retired general
to come
to succeed Museveni.
That will Museveni
because Ugandans admire generals until the time when we will feel that it took time for people to believe that a woman can be an officer. It took time to involve women in fighting. It took time to accept blacks in America. So it will take a time for Ugandans to entrust their destiny to non-soldiers. So I'm proposing a retired general. I'm saying that the two, the president and the chairmanship of the party
should be separated
if NRM is maintained. But I'm not saying NRM maintained. NRM will become a stronger party when Museveni retires and becomes the national chairman. Otherwise, today, Museveni cannot create another strong source of power. That one I know as a political scientist. So, I say, to improve the image of NRM, Museveni must have either to retire early or must have somebody who can change the image of the party. He must sack the Minister of Finance. He must sack the Minister of Local Government. No musuma kabisa. Sente bazimubako bupi. Si musuma. Majesi is not a musuma. Naye abaganda. Tumita tutia mu Uganda. Abaganda mubuya. If I saw somebody, I think this is former UPC man, he was saying that they are going to monitor at the parish level. At the parish level, you are talking rubbish. Why? If there is a wedding at a parish level, people will feel its impact.
I see.
Where have these 2 billion from local government supposed to go to the parish level? What's their impact?
That's a big question.
Yes, teziriyo.
Emyoga failed.
Ebyomuweereza bye bigula omwenge teziriyo. Bannannyini buyinza ssente bazitwala because they have a misconception about the use of money. Buli omu tumugula, buli omu tumugula, buli omu tumujoga.
Abateekawo ssente zino baba bazitadde
okuze. Tumala munya ku mutwe tumukomyawo ne tumunyaka tumunyako. No.
Baziteekawo kuzebbira.
Ate zibeerayo wa nkugambye.
Tezibaayo.
Billions of cents nga ziri kumuluka. Do you know what we call a parish? Everybody will feel akawowo.
Yes.
Yes.
Naye teziriyo.
This is what the president had in mind. That if you give every Ugandan 100,000 and it reaches, it will improve the economy. Baiso bazi, katabazi, nayo nakulumwali kwatiwa. Katabazi. Bali muyolo ne yevume kyamuje wamba basi. Bali yola katabazi. Naduka n'olubutolwe. Goloza bamwine yali amanyita asobola okuva e Masaka.
Lali banyu amanyi nnyo.
Mwine.
Yali yayita president we Masaka.
Yagenda nga atambula. Why? Omusajja Museveni yanchawawa. Mwine. Mbukubanga yali best man wa Lwabo. When you think they start to collapse, when the roof, it does not start with the roof.
Of course.
A Mary webe ebira mu nyanja drowning. Amazzi gavayo. You see the rats.
I see.
But the rats the bamwines. Nti bamwine bamuje Masaka. Wa yaduka bijambe yabamuje Masaka. Shamulesire. He was attacking me. He went to Mukono and he made sure that Chibule was defeated. He was a moving defeater. Buli wamu nawe bamutuma. Neba amufubutudde Masaka wano. Things are falling apart.
Uli yeyita president wayo. Yali president we Masaka.
Yawonye bali bajja mukubira mu Lwera bamuttiremu. Akade nganti what if Museveni chooses vice president Edward Kiwonoka second as successor? That is possible. Strong leaders are never succeeded by those equally strong leaders. So second bamujjawo. Second yali ne Museveni byonna second yali abina one. Ekirete Salayira bamulaba mu tamu esooka esembayo like Biden mukadde. Yes, he will not make a revenge. It will give the rules. Second, it would give the Baganda some sense. Katalina China. 2. Second, amanyiganye ne Museveni, they have a stronger board.
Yes.
Tanzania. Yes. And the second has the law on his fingerprint. Bamukubani nanyine kuyinza lwaboko. The Lwaboko rampage. The year of Lwaboko. I have written in my book the making of an African Hitler. Umusajja omwana byayogera bitukanga. Anti yagamba mulobozi sigage ngatamanyi nti namukwatadde emyaka 10 egiisa. Okuva lwe yankuba namutegeera nti one day he will need me and we shall never reconcile. We shall never reconcile. There is nobody on earth who can make that miracle. What I want to do is compensation and I do my period. Never bagambwe. What will you do? What will you do? Even if we don't give him the money, I'm going to retire. You better give him my money because I sent them a message. Ntimba kwale day. Nene mukalulu aka 210 banziba. Nakana yajjo nazitwala mukolere. Ne basasula TV nga nze tebansasudde. Kalisa nalya sente ngamba tunulidde bwe. Ne manyanja ba tujja kusinkana mu kono. Bakubeja okonde bamalemu. Nizo kuba kalisa nadduka. Kalisa nga namukubi. Adduka yingira ebinga by'emmese. Kati nkugamba. With the prevailing state of affairs, there are only 2 options to counter the power of the mafia gang. Starting a new party, which is completely impossible, and coming up with a group to counter the mafia in the government. This, however, is also impossible given their wealth and network they have in the government. But the mafia is divided into 2. The moderate mafia. Omanyi twavobani mwete mwejimanyi ya shaping Uganda's politics. Kati group eno ye yaleta Bobi Wine Nuupu. Kakati Nuupu etuyambako ekintu kimu. Nti Bobi Wine is a man who does not believe in violence. Chovala bakati baze mu kutega bomu. Let me tell you. As an expert in security, for the first time, enanga yadduse. Yategedde njamu batula. We study international terrorist organizations. An international terrorist organization is headed by intellectuals. Al-Qaeda is headed by highly educated people, professors. They know the first way, the impact. Yes, the first way, the impact. That's why they tell you, when the USA government agreed for an orderly withdrawal with the Taliban, the Islamic State came in to spoil the water, to muddy the waters.
I see.
To undermine the agreement. This is why the Americans came up and explained, no, the vehicle we targeted does not belong to terrorists. It was actually a UN worker. To say that because the Taliban a third force wanted to undermine a third force, the Islamic State.
Never wanted the agreement.
Yes, never wanted because they were the losers.
I see.
They wanted a lawless country like Afghanistan. Now, if I told you that whether you like it or not, the Afghani Taliban are going to shed off their fundamentalism.
I see.
Tebagala kulaga. You remember when NRM came to power? Tebocha mbiri, tebasigamu gonde, tebanywa mwenge, tebanywa alcohol, bagula kalawulo obumotoka kati waliwo ababbi okusinga bano. Waliwo ababbi, waliwo mendi ebye yejalabizo okusinga bano.
Barabejala binyo.
Waliyo jijewo. But the way they started, abaganda bakuga nti wewombesenge egole eri jombi. That a bride that will be fight that will be
very abusive,
uncontrollable. On her wedding, it appears as if he's the most obedient person.
I see.
He's hiding something.
That was NRM at the start.
No, the Taliban are going to shed off their fundamentalism as they control power. Women will drive vehicles. Women will move freely. Give them 10 years. The NRM government, look at it. They said we are battling, we are avoiding the dollar. Museveni was asked, where do you belong? Are you Polo West or Polo East? Museveni said, I belong to my head. Museveni, who is condemning terrorism now, when the Americans hit and Gaddafi survived, Museveni summoned the American ambassador. And while addressing a public rally at the Constitutional Square, Museveni said, in Africa, if you attack a weak man, you can use Mayembe.
I see.
Supporting terrorism, that I'm powerless. Libya is powerless.
Yes.
And they used to ask him, why do you maintain this relationship? He said, I better. If you buy my pineapples and give me oil, then I can abandon.
Yes.
So, the Museveni, the vibrant Museveni over 86, there was a minister in charge of butter trade. He gained the only thing under the law at that time we could not butter was land.
I see.
Bacha Agatalinda.
Byagwao.
They need dollars.
Kati sawa ya se.
Wali toyinza kulowooza beena ali muntu bali bba ku 10. No.
Bajjange gole jjo.
Yes. So that me I know the Taliban is gradually.
Kati buze insecurity ne
Andi kati nkubuulira.
Zino zibomba.
I know terrorism. That is a business competition.
Zino si bomu za Taliban.
Na wano okutta Najerega waliwo yali ayagala okugulawo. Omusajja gwe bagamba a suspect was allegedly found with the Najerega's telephone set. Aliwa. The case proceed. Waliwo ayagala okugulawo. Yatananyiniye mu accident. A fake accident. Nayagala agulewo Lwampaka. Bali bakwata. Bali bayola. Birivaayo. Nemulaba nkono bwadduka. Did this man realize that I would be a deciding factor 8 years after abandoning me out of State House, that I would be hurt not to crack?
Oli yali ayagala kugula ttaka.
Yes.
Nata.
Ate Bannagirinya ngali anywera. Bannagirinya banyweranga nateeza. Nayola abaana 200. Nayola abantu baddukawo yagulewo. Yes. Kati ezo naku ezo balina era baala gye bayodde. Ne bagigala ne babayola. Omulamuzi n'abata. This is a business company. They are not used to business acumenship.
Bwe baba bagala bokola ekyabo.
Bakola kyonna ekisoboka.
Kati zino bomu.
Nkubuulidde.
It's business competition.
Let me tell you, business competition. Why should Islamic State attack you? They want to insinuate that because we brought the Afghanis, this is why we are paying. Let me ask a question. Afghanis, how many do we have? Is the president of Afghanistan here?
No.
What type of Afghani refugees do we have?
The old ones.
To warrant a reprisal. In fact, they wouldn't be Afghanis were chased away by this woman who is the Minister of Gender.
The minister.
Many are happening. Are we seeing Arab women for the first time? In fact, in my Uganda culture, is a light skinned woman, a Chotara, an Arab. You will get it. But omen.
I see.
Told you Bagante or you Musambwa. Any woman who is brown is a superhuman. So how could it be with this black ground? Then you saw motor rally funds at a particular corner, watching their speed. That Ugandans are eyeing their arrival. The Afghanis. Any stupid argument, the argument that the eyes we have attracted the attention, the attack of the Islamic State is useless. Why?
Whoever is proposing that argument,
it is not true. Even when you study our earlier bombings in Uganda, the only that was disastrous, which had a devastating impact, was the Regime Killab. Because it was done by suicide bomber. Africans, like Ugandans, we fear death.
Of course.
And it is a curse to commit suicide.
Yes.
When a person commits suicide,
they even
his body is caning just away others. Why didn't they cane this man of Kayunga? yanindike tegatege baleeta ekiwumba tuutu okuva emulago kipolice pathologist omusajja omulema atata nakyo bali kinoonya nekidduka bano baali bamanyi nti ICC is zeroing on them. They are going to baali tebakisuubira. Ndabyemu mu meeting yaabwe ey'olwaleero mulimu ne gwe sisuubira ne bwe mbagamba temukkiriza naye atemba abatembi b'ennyonyi mu Eastern Uganda. Buses used to involve themselves in accidents were deliberate. I'm finding a very powerful politician from Eastern Uganda attending a meeting today with those who are wanted by ICC over organ trade. Nabano bajja bakwata
Kambuze ye yakola gundi report ku mukasajjo ne yetuga yalaba atya nti nno yetuga
bakwata mpulira bajja kukikwata kidduke kyogere kivomitingi kubanga tebalaba trend. They don't say the truth. That things are changing.
Naye mzee obadi bwa security
the insecurity eriwo. I told you that Bobi Wine is plan B has had a biting impact. Security, Bobi Wine, by not behaving like a message, has denied the security people operation funds. Where is the market for tear gas? Where is the riot police? Who has seen the riot police in his area since the end of the elections? So security that has been depending on money because they know Museveni gives money like a blood, like a body. Blood goes where it is needed.
Yes.
That's why soldiers, when they stand for a long time on the parade, they collapse because all of the blood is sucked in their feet.
I see.
Kakati bano ye Bobi Wine cheyakola has denied these people operational funds. This one is purely commercial. You see, when it is 11 September,
according to your analysis,
I'm telling you, I was studying.
This is a commercial bombing.
Terrorism organization. What do they celebrate? If it is a revenge mission that Ugandan soldiers in Somalia have inflicted heavy damage
on the terrorists.
The door. You always take the battle to the enemy's door.
I see.
So I dismiss an outside interference. These people are not used to record. They lack a business acumenship.
I see.
Okujoka, okunekubantu, okubanyalako. Njagala 5 billion in my office. They wanted 5 billion, which I refused. Narration ampita mbujangozi chimenga nzibawe nganzo. Ninya mukbenyo ndu. Ninya bambate. I refuse to surrender the money. But I fought to you. I fought to you decisively for 8 years, and the battle continues.
You highly suspect that this is not an external interference.
It cannot be involved.
Is it a business war?
Elisha Hab attacked Burundi when they are in elections to turn the tables. That if you want peace, withdraw your soldiers. Tell me what warrant for ICC, the international the Islamic State, that we are holding Afghanis.
No.
Who has seen an Afghani even in our hotels?
Actually, we have.
There would be Afghanis to be accommodated in Uganda. We are chased away by this woman, the Minister of Gender. Chased them away. Yes,
they did not come.
Ugandans are sharpening. If Ugandans are sharpening for women, why don't you also sharpen your libidos for men, for Afghani men? A whole minister. And Museveni does not suck him. You see, Museveni sympathizes with these people. They lack exposed.
I see.
Museveni's ministers are lack exposed. Some
just excited.
Where do they come from? Are they party members? Do they graduate? Do they climb with the party structure? Some of them are village councillors.
I see.
You find a minister of Kampala who has never traveled. If he is a Muslim, has only traveled to Mecca.
I see. Just a flight trip for
former minister. Ono yali kansala w'ekiboga. A former minister from Kiboga. A councillor from Kiboga.
Yali wano mu Kampala.
Local government. You bring him in Kampala to be minister in charge of Kampala.
I see.
You get a minister of gender, a gender sensitive area. And then the minister of gender says on BBC that Ugandans are separating their organs.
They are getting ready.
Why don't women also? Why don't women also?
Sharpen for men.
Are we seeing Arabs, the first Arab to reach Uganda. Ahmed bin Ibrahim came in 1848.
I see.
So Ugandans,
we are not excited about Arabs.
Arabs used to fight in the Uganda army during Mutesa the First as mercenaries.
I see.
We are not seeing the Arab women for the first time in Uganda.
I see.
Ugandans started going to Mecca in the 20s. Are we seeing Arab women for the first time?
No.
But the whole minister comes up. So these people, where do you start?
When you're investigating the bombing.
If you want revenge of the two, the man who has married your daughter illegally and the man who has grabbed your wife, where do you first, whom do you take, whom do you direct more revenge?
Of course, the one who has taken my wife.
Yes.
Not the one who has married my daughter.
Are we saying that the Islamic State is attacking us because we are hosting an Arab, a Pakistani former president, and it should not be the international state. It should be the Talibanis. It should be the Talibanis, not vice versa.
Yes.
So these people, this is how they do their business.
What do you say about
destroyed Utoda? Now they are busy talking to taxi drivers, many of whom are fake, for new organization. I've written a new book, Back to the Same Mujid. When whatever is see in this government, we as if we are having a new regime. You destroyed the railway, you are coming back to the railway. You destroyed the Utoda, a stronger tax organization,
you're coming back to a new organization.
Taxi drivers to form one. What went wrong?
Why don't you restore the other one?
What went wrong? No, it means that these people, those who are committed atrocities, they are seeing a possibility of a change of government in Uganda shortly.
So they are covering up?
Yes. That's why you have detention, preemptive detentions, preemptive, we shall have preemptive assassinations, that a former M.I.S.O boss calls me to protect him. I laughed when Tumwebazoto sent me. Tell him they have also abandoned me out of state house and government. Yes, this is what I prayed for when I went to the mountains.
I see.
Somebody said I grabbed his money thinking that he's a staunch Catholic. He will come and kneel before me. Then somebody told him, you think he's by donning a rosary. The man is a traditionalist. I went home, cried, prayed, and everybody who pointed the finger at me will pay.
I see.
I'm not seeing any limit. This is something like a God's case napping. Yes. If you wanted to humiliate me, what if you had succeeded by switching off my radio programs? Would we be talking?
No.
If I has accepted a humiliating post that a man like me should be an advisor, me, to be under president's office, a minister who has served 14 years, I hear them saying the wrongest. I'm the wrongest. You cannot kill history. But the real history is me. I'm not humble. You have all failed to humble me.
I see.
Whenever you humiliate me, I harden. I steal myself. He will know.
I see.
Buchajoga kuruno waboko buchajoga yajoga mu atajogeka. Whoever directed him to humiliate him will blame him for future.
Mzee, I wanted to ask you, wherever Europeans alert their citizens in a country that there is a possible terror attack, it happens. How do they know? How do they beat our? No, they infiltrate our intelligence. They infiltrate security. Yes. The reason why you have not captured any serious criminal, read it in my book, The Vomits of a Spy Master. Most of the people, the perpetrators of these murders and assassinations, are inside the security, according to Kaka. I see.
You will see people, once I release this book, you will see people in military intelligence running away.
I see.
Mujakala bakugondi onulayi ona badukola beba kandiko nga bwabala abakozi beta kyabalabo. Kaka came out because it was a preemptive arrest. I carry out Kaka. Tumwebaze is also appealing to me. Help me. This woman, the former minister in charge of the presidency, Mbayo, came to me running. Young man, you are the savior of people in danger. Help me against her own government.
Muzajja kusembayo ne Nabakooba. Nabakooba ne baagala.
Nabakooba and Bagala at the same boat. Nabakooba Bagala was sponsored by the Rwabo group. Yes.
The one of people power.
I'm telling you. Many of these people are not people power. Terry Bagala, where she was not getting a salary from a government institution, masquerading as an anchor in the NBS.
She was as well getting an extra pay.
Yes.
From inside the
so
corridors of power.
So let me tell you, the only this woman can go back. You see, NRM does not plan very well. If they knew that they needed Nabakooba, Nabakooba wouldn't have been appointed minister. To the villagers, they used one stone to kill 2 birds. That's one. Why don't we have a minister as well as an MP? But it will have a permanent impact. In the future, they will say, that's why Amelia decided not to come to cabinet. Yes, it was a very tactical move. And when you are not part of a government, these people will not come to you, the villagers, to ask you for handouts. I'm not part of a government like me. I'm living a very comfortable life. Nobody can blackmail me. I don't intend to stand anywhere. That's one. 2. Nabakooba is likely to have a backlash. You see, for us, Uganda, you don't hanker on somebody's job.
Yes.
Abaganda call it okubojja ku luwonzi, like enkoko, empanga. Ebojja jinne wajo always fighting. So the Baganda say, you cannot fight for Wami. You cannot fight for leadership.
I see.
It comes a time. Hey, I'm not fighting that I was removed from State House. No, I'm fighting this attitude that after humiliating you, we can bring you back and humiliate you to get a second job. No, that one will not happen. I will die a pauper, I will move in tatters, but I will never work with these people again. What I need is compensation and do other things. If they fear that I'm going to do other things, okay, let them fear me. No, there is no, even if God tells me to work with the Waboga, I will not. Here I have already suffered irreparable damage for 8 years. One who died near before him. How? Kakati Kuganti, you backlash. 2, yes. 2,
we lose it badly. 2,
a by-election means 2 things. That the government knows the date of a by-election. 2, only the devils of government converge in one place.
Yes.
It's not a general election where you have to scatter resources.
Yes.
What happened in the NRM? They steal their own money. They deceive Museveni not to give the candidate facilities, but a group of scavengers come from Kampala and they hide in the hotels and they take the money. This is why NRM candidates lose in the by-election. 2, ask them, has Nabakooba being accompanied by NRM leaders? And to make matters worse, the lawyers of the party are a company belonging to the president's son-in-law.
I see.
Yes.
Imagine.
Yes. So, if, as I've told you, that even Bagala was an NRM, she had a hidden government job where she was getting 5 million per month.
Hey.
Yes.
I'm not sure about that.
NRM is fighting itself. Kakati, in fact, I would advise Nabakooba not to stand. And when you look at the margin is 30,000 votes.
It was a very wide margin.
Yes. What went wrong? It requires investigations.
I see.
Because not every NRM candidate was trounced with that big margin. What are you going to do to these people? And in many cases,
the 30,000 difference.
As I point out, that the NRM candidates in by-elections, they are orphans. They only turn up when Museveni is going there, when the man has arrived, and they take the money. But once the first day they open up the campaign, you will see Bobi Wine there, you will see Ssaako there, you will see everybody there. And the difference between NRM and the political party is organizing.
Yes.
The NRM party is boring.
Fails badly on organizing.
It's organizing. This is where I find the people, a party that organizes elections in intent. Because there is a thief who is paid the money to transport those tapes.
And the chairs.
Two, they transport supporters. 5,000 each. Never buses and way so back and do you see the opposition takes advantage with these joyrides. When the government puts their buses, the first people to enter are the opposition people. You find their rallies full of opposition people. So they are very bad. They have
a very poor strategy.
Very bad at organizing public rallies. On the other hand, the opposition rallies are full of music, dancing, organizing, abuses. This is what people want. I told you that we have reached a level where people are no longer discussing serious stuff. Because
they don't
these days
discuss what is in the manifesto.
These days government agents don't arrest journalists. They don't arrest lawyers. They don't arrest politicians. They arrest Katemba people, including these younger girls. Because now the problem is with Katemba.
Yes.
If you are not a master of Katemba, people are tired of stuff.
Serious things.
Yes. People are tired of serious things because they're not coming.
Yes.
As a result, people are listening to drama marketers instead of wasting time listening to a budgetary speech whose content is completely irrelevant to the needs of the population. A person goes to a comedian.
Yes, they haven't seen it go through, so they don't find anything tangible within.
Yes. So that's what Nabakoba who do not have been appointed a minister, if they had this in mind, two, Ugandan is also understand.
But he had the liberty to seek for justice.
Yes, but at times you hide behind the voter.
I see.
To avoid the backlash of the anger.
Hey.
Yes, you hide behind the voter. Two, Ugandans can think. Or there is a party already with 400 something members. They have already secured the two-thirds majority. They can do whatever they want. Is it wise to reduce the number of opposition MPs?
That's what we are asking.
Yes.
Is NRM sincerely, unless Ingabaina Echiru
they already secure. And
they already secure with the majority.
For me, people like Mayanja and Nabakoba have demonstrated one thing. At one time, Mugisha Muntu and Onapito brought a motion to Parliament that what they should do, that we should have ministers who are not MPs. The way Mayanja is operating and the Nabakoba, the way she has done to solve the land problems, I would have supported the Nabakoba to remain independent, not to go back and seek elections. Because why do I speak the way I speak? I don't belong to anywhere. Yes.
I thought you belonged to NRM.
Nobody gives me
what to say.
Directives. No.
I see.
I'm as free as a baby.
I see.
I laugh when I want. I smile when I want.
I see.
Yes.
I see.
Nobody can ring me at all. You ring my number. Do you pay for my programs? I give you. I abuse you, even obscenities. I shout obscenities. Where do you have the? How do you control me? Do you pay me salary? Where do you get the authority to ask me?
I see.
Yes.
Njagala kumaliza mzee na kino. Mzee ekintu ekirumya abantu kiri kyoyogedde eky'empuuta. Abantu bakikoze batya? Abantu batuula batya mu komiti ne bagamba batandika kuba bantu masasi.
Look what these idiots, the two idiots. Look what these two idiots. Can you go to Philippines? These two idiots. Can anybody go to Philippines and say that Empuuta, you just study. Or better brought Empuuta, I think, from North Korea. It was, and why do you call it Empuuta or Sabulenya? Or better his mother's name was Sabulenya. To abuse his mother, and because of the size of Empuuta, they called it Sabulenya. Empuuta means something that swallows every fish. So these idiots would come here, would bring their scientists to study where Empuuta can be. Can we sit here as Baganda and say, let the Nyankole not drink their milk? Can we say,
you can't say that
in order to have cheap beef, let the Banyankole not eat their beef? These are the most celebrated idiots, very arrogant. How can you stand in a country and you say, how the Americans told us not to drink coffee so that we sell coffee to them?
No.
These are idiots. I don't allow my children to access such a stupid information. And if I get a matchbox, I will burn it. But New Vision has brought it twice. And it had not attracted like this man of MTN. Has not. How can you say? But now Uganda, but you have gone. Not got on the table. Why do you say not a borrowed man in Africa? A borrowed man must be reasonable.
Yes. We
have never been stupid. He's borrowed. He goes to parliament. You get the audacity of saying natives should not eat like a where. Have the Japanese sold their vehicles because the natives don't buy Japanese vehicles?
I see.
Idiots. Stupid.
Please.
It tells you how bankrupt these two people are. These must be criminals from their countries.
I see.
They don't want a competition. Why don't you grow? Why don't you go to your countries and produce Empuuta? If everything that is sold outside is not eaten or used by the natives, would you be coming with your clothes?
No.
What type of stupidity is this? Arrogance, stupid. And they go to the they can get the audacity, arrogance of telling this to Ugandans.
Imagine.
In an English newspaper.
We are wondering.
Why do these foreigners?
They have an association.
Who has told these foreigners that we are dire need of them? What have they done here apart from stealing?
That's the first time I knew about them. The first time I heard a word from them.
MTN exploitative. What have they? Do we have a factory that is a processing factory done by these foreigners? The Chinese just duplicate. In fact, if we could do Uganda, they can do better without these foreigners.
I see.
Because Uganda in this present
but it's your boss who's keeping
Uganda
them here.
In this present form cannot get credible investors. When you read his book, this man, the Singapore story, we got, he says, initially we got crooks. Most of these people are here, masquerading as investors are crooks.
Serious?
Crooks.
But who vets them?
And you see,
who is in charge of vetting potential investors?
Abaganda bagamba nti enkuba ekuba omunaku tekisigala mu nviiri.
Mazima.
That a problem that affects a poor man is not solvable. It remains somewhere. As we are seeking World Bank funding for the pipeline, a lobby group is suing the World Bank for financing that pipeline from Bunyolo to Tanzania because it does not fulfill human rights, climate change, and other conditions. So as I said, that it will take amafuta ga Uganda muyinza obutagalaba. This is what they did to Egypt, to Ethiopia. But the Ethiopians were smarter. They have used their resources to construct that dam. But in Uganda, where thieves are more interested in stealing than investing in their own country, I doubt if we get such a blockage by the World Bank, if the World Bank succumbs to pressure, you will see. And this is the first time. Even constructing the next dam was blocked by MPs like Musumba and others.
He brought
there was also many. I read you one time. My book, the book I wrote about the oil cars 15 years ago. So therefore, for me, I'm ahead. Me, I'm happy where I am. I'm enjoying my life as a private person. I'm enjoying it because I'm realizing what I predicted. This younger man didn't know 8 years ago when he was forcing me out. To members they didn't know that he would need my assistance. When he was switching my programs one by one, they even installed a younger girl in this communication UCC to switch off. I invested in the population. My strongest weapon, I invested in the position, and I don't commit crimes. They even went to YouTube, and YouTube demanded the court order.
Yes.
They failed it. Do you come to me now to negotiate? I will never support your presidential bid, even if elected by
YouTube
God.
told them.
Take it to
get them court.
Me, I lost. I've lost 8 years. What can I regain? This was my mercy. That because I'm a gentleman, I cannot take Ugandans. But if you are keeping that money as a bait, take it. You don't see me talking about that money. If you recovered it from Luabo, surrender it to me because it belongs to me. But getting it from Luabo and keeping it somewhere, thinking that I will come and dance like a witch, that a cannibal that has seen a corpse. You are lying to yourselves.
I see.
Mirundi does not operate black men.
Tokekereza bongo ununulepeyo Chimbuyege olaba jina kaba bataka Uganda gunja